The way to really ask for it is to take on more risk. And so you will be compensated for the amount of value you create, your ability to negotiate, how replaceable that skill is, and most importantly, the risk you're willing to take on. And so a business owner gets paid more than the employees in the business because the business owner takes on more risk. Eduardo Saverin, who was the first investor in Facebook, he put $30,000 up, and that was worth $1 gazillion today. And so he took on risk, and as a result of that, despite not really doing any work, he was able to make a significant amount of money. Now, as an employee, what does taking on risk look like? It means that you switch to a percentage of your compensation or the entirety of your compensation based on some key metric that you have responsibility over, that you can draw a connection between what you do and how much revenue or profit the company makes. Now, in some positions like sales, it's a little bit easier to draw that, and that's typically how those roles are structured. But if you know your job well, then you can think of ways to tie what you do to what the company makes. And you should do that because the closer you can tie yourself to revenue, the more valuable you will be. The third thing you can do as an employee is you can just switch, right? You can start applying to other roles, either within the business or in other businesses. And I actually think that the within business swap is one of the most underrated. So like in terms of which one of these will make you the most money, this will probably make you the most, which is you taking on risk. You switching, sometimes you can get a significantly larger raise than simply asking. And I think the reason for that is that if you're in a role where there's multiple people in your role, it sets a precedent for the business that even if you're a higher performer, that they feel like they have to then increase everyone else's pay, which is kind of a risk to the business. Basically here, you ask the business to take on more risk versus here, you take on more of that risk. Now the switch allows the business to maintain face and allow you to get into a role that takes on more responsibility or has a different title, and then you can earn according to that. Now the final thing here is obviously you can start a business which then would switch your category overall, but let's talk about that. So the pricing lever here is really related to your income. The pricing lever here in businesses is related to what you sell. Now, I want to be really clear here. An employee sells your services. You just sell them on a recurring contract, but fundamentally it's what it is. And so I think people see these in very different categories. I don't see them as that different personally. Obviously, the only real difference is risk.